It's time for another 3 palettes, 3 looks video. I'm so excited. So I have 2 that are pretty hot off the press and I'm so excited to share it with you guys. I did promise that the next one that I did that was multiple looks was going to be a little bit of a different format. If this happens to be your first time on my channel, welcome. My name is Karen Harris. I like to film tan girl friendly makeup videos here on YouTube. I've been on YouTube over 10 years now and I love to share indie makeup with you guys, especially to find out if it's tan girl friendly. Things have come such a long way since I started. In this video, we have a black owned brand. We have a collaboration with a South Asian influencer or creator. So things have come a long way. I'm so excited. Subscribe to the channel if you aren't already. And without further blabbering, let's get into it. Okay, so the first palette in my multiple palette series this time is going to be the Ophiuchus palette by Terra Moons Cosmetics. Yes, I did actually look up how to say the name. And I'm going to get into close-ups and swatches so I can tell you a little bit about this palette. So Ophiuchus actually means serpent bearer, and it's the largest constellation located on the celestial equator, which I feel like I should have known there was going to be some kind of celestial stargazer theme to this because Terra Moons shadows just have that theme, but I had no idea, so I guess I learned something new every day, and it's amazing how much I can actually learn if I sit down and Google stuff. But let's say I did pass on this palette when it originally launched, but so many of you said, get it, it's so good, so I decided to trust your opinion and go for it. Usually I don't like to buy palettes that have been out for a while, but I had a few comments and y'all were very convincing. So I picked this up in a restock and now it's available for pre-order. This palette retails for $57 and I think I saw that this is the first one they did that wasn't handmade or something like that. I can't remember. Maybe this is their first lab-made palette. So I just wanted to mention that, but it says born between the stars and created to shift, often left out of the zodiac, Ophiuchus is the celestial rebel, the healer, the snake bearer, symbolizing wisdom, transformation, and breaking traditions. It's for those who never quit. It's for those who never quite fit the mold and never needed to. A moody, mystical 12-pan color story palette crafted for the outliers, the shapeshifters, the ones who thrive in duality and embrace their own cosmic power. Every shade is more than just pigment. It's a piece of a larger constellation that invites you to step outside the traditional zodiac and into your own orbit. First shade is a duochrome, an electric teal to green shift that pulses like a star in motion, bold, dimensional, and perfect for center lid spotlight or full cosmic drama. NGC6355 is a matte, a true mid-tone jungle green, deep, grounded, and built for blending or defining. Dark Horse Nebula is a matte, cool tone charcoal with olive undertones, ideal for smoky depth. Kepler Supernova is a multichrome, a molten copper multichrome that erupts with flashes of pink and gold. Think galactic expansion pressed into a pan. Messier 12 is a matte, a burnt terracotta orange with earthly richness, adds balance, contrast, and warmth to any look. Zeta Ophiuchus, oh my gosh, multichrome, a starlit magenta to gold shift that feels equal parts magic and mystery. High impact and hypnotic. Barnard 68 matte, olive tone khaki matte, earthy, smooth, and perfect for transition or soft sculpting. Little Ghost Nebula iridescent multichrome, a soft spectral glow that shifts pink, blue, and violet over different bases. Gorgeous as a highlighter or a topper. 13 Zodiac shimmer, champagne meets moonlight, a soft metallic shimmer that flatters every skin tone. The perfect inner corner to spotlight glow. Row something is a matte, a bold oceanic teal with rich pigmentation and a buttery matte finish. The drama builder. Serpent bearer, cool mint matte, unexpectedly wearable and fresh, stunning on the lid or as a color pop. Twin Set Nebula is a multichrome, a chartreuse green shimmer with pink reflex, playful, edgy, and ultra bright under any light. The shades Orbit, Serpent Green, Deep Space Blues, and a flash of terracotta representing Ophiuchus duality, healer, and Disruptor, Mystery, and Magnetism. This palette does have magnetic pans. It has a full-size mirror, custom blend, lab-formulated shadows with intense payoff, vegan and cruelty-free. I will say, I'm guessing all the detail is for SEO, but it's also super helpful. So hopefully you guys enjoyed the breakdown. I'm ready to put this palette on my eyes and get along with it. So let's get into a look with the Ophiuchus palette. Okay, so I feel like I don't want to do a green look, but I mean, I have to do a green look. This teal shade is calling my name, and this shade that they described as like a highlighter, I'm like, that on my eyelids, like give it to me. So that's what we're gonna do. I forgot how much I love this brush from Sigma. It's the medium angle shading brush E70, and it's just like perfect for adding color on the outer corner. And I just feel like it makes my eyes look a little bit bigger or wider when I keep the deeper shade kind of closer to the outer corner. Sometimes I feel like I bring it too far in, and I don't know. I feel like keeping it closer to the outer corner really changes the shape of my eye, and I'm so bad at like keeping it that far back. So I'm trying to be better. And now I'm taking the minty shade, which is this color right here, and I'm gonna put that kind of like all over the lid and in the crease as well. I'm not gonna lie, I feel a little bit stressed right now because, oh my gosh, I don't know if you guys can relate, but my mom is a character and a half, and she bought me some clothes, she bought me some gym shorts, and now she can't find her debit card, and she thinks like the shorts, like the bag, the card is in the bag that the shorts were in, and she like made my dad give them to me while we were out at this dinner, and like she's like, oh, didn't you keep the bag, like can you check the bag? And I'm like, no, I threw the plastic freaking bag away because you tied it in a knot and I had to cut it open, so I can't reuse the plastic bag. And I'm like, we took our trash out. Like, I'm not digging in the trash for your debit card. Oh my God. She just like called me right before I started filming. So I'm like, my heart is like pounding because she's like, I'm going to come over and look for it. I'm like, good freaking luck. And it's like right in the middle of bath time. It's going to like disrupt my kids. And it's just like, parents, I'm telling you, they think they're so helpful, but they're really not. Like, it's like, dude, can you not? I don't want to say she's such an like Asian mom, but she's like such an Asian mom. She has like no concept of like inconveniencing people, and like it's not an inconvenience because I'm her daughter. It's just like should be totally tolerated by everyone. So I have to vent because my heart is like racing because I'm so annoyed. I'm sorry, but it's true. Okay, that is so cute. And I'm using that angle shader brush just to bring it down into the lower lash line as well because I want it there. And I'm gonna take more of the mint and try to like build it up in the crease. These colors, pastels like this, I don't know why they get like eaten up into my eye. And so then like 10 minutes from now, it doesn't even look like the mint shade is there, which like maybe I should have used a colored base. I kind of forgot about my Made by Mitchell eyeshadow bases here, but it is what it is. Hopefully it'll work out, but I'm gonna use the shade Little Ghost and maybe the shade Alpha, whatever, this one. Also on the lid. We'll see how it looks. I'm gonna take the dark green first, and I'm gonna give it a little spray. These eyeshadows felt so good when I was swatching. I was really impressed. I'm expecting to really enjoy this formula because when I swatched it, it felt like the type of formula I like to play with. So I bought that green shade a little bit closer to the inside of my eyes, and now I'm going to go in with that lighter, more iridescent shadow, and that just needs to be all over my lid. Okay, I mixed a little bit of the teal into the mint shade because as you can see it's already gone, which is driving me nuts. So okay, so I'm going to go back into this minty shade and just build it up under the eyes. And I used my Prada like minty eyeliner. So I hope that this shade kind of like sticks to it a little bit too, just to kind of intensify it a little bit. Okay, for inner corner, I think I'm going to use this shade called Twin Set right here. I'm not sure if it's going to match, but we'll give it a chance. It's like a greeny, pinky, shifty shadow. Okay, I did dust off my brush in between application, but I still have a bit of fallout, so hopefully I'll be able to dust that off. But I'm really loving how this is looking, so I'm going to finish off the look, put on the rest of my makeup, and I'll be right back to give you guys my thoughts. Okay, I'm totally feeling myself. I'm not even going to lie to you guys. Let me tell you really quick what is on my face before we chat about the palette. I'm wearing the new Unearthly and Courtney Quarantine Lip. This is in the shade, ooh, I was holding it upside down, Eternal. I am so pleasantly surprised by this shade. It is a dark brown with like a hint of red in it. And if you have seen Courtney Quarantine, they and I have very different skin tones. So when I saw the reveal of this collection, I was like, oh my gosh, are they all gonna be like too cool tone? But I actually really love this shade. And I have to try on the other two shades as well, but I thought I would try this out in today's video. It has the same packaging as the Menacing Metals from Unearthly, but it has this beautiful like glitter to it. So super duper beautiful. That is my lip shade. Another new to me product I have on today is the Juvia's Place new bronzer. This I have on in the shade Warm Pecan, and I will say this is the right shade for me. I totally messed up and went too heavy on this side, so just keep in mind if you do end up getting this, it's very, very pigmented, and I've been loving the new Natasha Denona liquid bronzer, so I don't really need to buy any new liquid bronzers, but I couldn't resist because Juvia's Place is one of those brands that has a very close place in my heart, and so I had to try out the new liquid bronzer. And then Merit sent me this in PR, which I was really excited about because I did want to buy this, but I was getting more curious. I was like, should I buy it? Should I not buy it? So I was so happy because I don't get a lot of PR from them. So happy to receive this new product. So this is their uniform tinted mineral sunscreen, broad spectrum SPF 35. I picked out the shade number 12, and this is made in the USA. I think my shade is called Buff. It doesn't say on here. I don't know. It's the shade 12. And I think it looks beautiful on me today. I did use a sponge to apply it. I think it's a little warm on me, but now that I have a full face on, I feel like it looks okay. You guys let me know. Huda concealer, just an old faithful. And I just posted a reel about this Ilia blush. This is the shade Wonder, and it's called the Soft Focus Blurring Blush. And one of you said to me in DMs that they wish more people were hyping this blush up. So let me hype this up a little bit more. I am dying to get more shades of this, but I'm going to wait for like an Ulta coupon before I do that. I had one this weekend, but I decided not to buy any makeup. Still trying to save, and I ended up having to buy a new computer. I don't know if you guys have been keeping up on Instagram, but anyway, that's a story for another day. And then my YSL highlighter, this is the shade 02. I think it's so pretty. It looks so natural. So that is everything that's on my face. Let's go ahead and chat about this palette. I also pulled out my old Terra Moon palette. I had actually decluttered this one, the Cosmic Wanderer palette, but I was listing stuff on Poshmark and I found it and I was like, well, let me use it in today's video. So I do have that as well. So yeah, this is exciting. I'm switching up the format of this video because some of you had requested that I do the intro, the look, and then the first impression portion all in one before I move on to the next palette. So I decided this was going to be my first video doing that and my first palette doing that. So here are the two palettes side by side in case you were curious. As you can see, the Ophiuchus palette does have the same amount of shades, but it is slightly longer than the Cosmic Wanderer palette. I don't know if the pan sizes are different. They don't look like they are, but just in case, I will say I like the palette packaging better of the newer palette. And yeah, overall, Terra Moon just makes gorgeous shadows in general. So I knew that I would be impressed. I would love to see them do more palettes, honestly. I know they do a lot of singles, and I get it because they make such beautiful single shadows, but I'm ready for more palettes. This does say it has a 24-month shelf life as well. I don't think I mentioned that earlier, but overall, my thoughts, I think this palette is so worth the price, $56. These are some great duochromes and multichromes, and their matte formula is pretty great as well. I will say I am a self-proclaimed lover of shiny shadows, and these ones are a really nice formula. They're not too thick, but they do have a nice slip to them. I think they glide onto the eyes really well, and I'm so excited and hopeful since they've had such a great response with this palette that we'll see more color stories from them. So yeah, overall, I think the packaging's cute, the color story is great, the mirror is nice, everything is really elevated, and I'm very happy with it. So now let's get into the next palette. Okay, the next palette is going to be the Broken Jewel palette. This is the latest one from Dede Signature, and it's launching on Friday, so I thought this was a perfect time to include it. And I'm gonna get into close-ups and swatches so we can talk a little bit about this palette. 16 pressed pigments inspired by raw beauty of shattered gems and brilliance found in imperfection. Each row told a chapter of the story. So we've got depth and grounding, fire and transformation, bold mystery and radiance, sparkle and resilience. Palette launches at 11 a.m. CST. It's $48.99, and there is going to be a discounted pre-sale with affiliate codes on the 28th. So that's something to keep in mind as well. If you're planning on buying it and you want to secure a discount, you can do it that way as well. And I really love how Dede Signature is stepping up their game. This palette looks so elevated. I love the pan size. Everything is looking so good. So the first shade is a Midnight Obsidian, and it is a matte black. I will say when I swatched these, I really had to build up the mattes, and I don't remember having to do that with Dede's mattes before. So we'll see when I put them on my eyes how buildable they are. Frosted Relic is a silvery black shimmer shade. Earthstone is a taupey brown. Lava Spark is a light brown shimmer shade. Midnight Teal is a dark blue. Blue Fracture is that blue purple shifting shade that we've seen in so many other palettes, but it just pairs really well with a row of blues. Shattered Amethyst is a purple, and then Opal Dust is a pure white matte shade. Rose Ruin is a multichrome. It shifts from a bronze to a green. And then Twilight Gem is a burgundy brown type shade. Molten Citrine is a yellow gold. Burnt Clay is a mid-tone brown. Toxic Gleam is a mucky green shade. Golden Shard is a duochrome that shifts from green to like white. Emerald Burst is a Kelly green, and then Granite Smoke is a army green shade. So yeah, great color story, definitely a very fall feeling palette, and so let's get into it. I don't know if I'm gonna make the theme of this multiple palettes video green eye looks. I'm definitely tempted, but the neutral row is also stunning, and we've got a cool tone row. So we've got a lot of options, and maybe I'll do another look with this palette in the future. I just feel like with the whole tariff situation, I'm probably gonna see less palettes, and a lot of my favorite overseas indie brands are stopping shipping to the US, so I feel like I'm going to have a lot of time to play with palettes in between launches, so I'm sure we'll have lots of options. But ooh, actually maybe I should play with the blues. The blues are kind of speaking to me tonight. I'm so excited because I just finalized plans with my friend. We're going to go see Freakier Friday. I'm so excited. Listen, I'm so here for Lindsay Lohan. She did that thing. She turned it around and she looks great, okay? Oh, I forgot to zoom you guys in. Let me do that real quick. I feel like I heard she got a facelift, and I think I heard that she went to the same doctor as Kris Jenner. I also saw something on Instagram saying their doctor charges like $300,000 a facelift, and listen, it was worth it, okay? It was worth it. I mean, granted, I don't think Lindsay Lohan is much older than I am. She looks great. She looks great, and so does Kris Jenner. Holy moly. I think Kris Jenner's like 70 something, because Kim Kardashian's like 50, right? Wild. Wild. I've got all kinds of things I want to talk to you guys about. I really need to film a mom chat video. I really do, and I feel like with fall coming, I'll maybe be more inclined to sit down and film. It's just been so hard because the summer really like gets me out and about, and I'm just like living my best life, but it's slowly coming to an end, and then I'll be a shut-in till next spring. So I really try to embrace summertime in Fargo because we don't have a lot of it. So I'm going into Midnight Teal. This shade, it was definitely lightly pigmented in the swatch. I did swatch it a few times over. I built it up a little bit, so I'm curious to see how it performs on the lid. It seems to be just fine. I was just a little bit nervous because I feel like with Dede's mattes, I'm used to them being so pigmented right away. I can't wait to see her swatches of this palette because I want to see how it looks on other skin tones. Of course, I saw Dede wearing the palette and it looked so beautiful on her. Such a great contrast between this palette and her collab with Miriam Tutorials, because I feel like that was a really fun summery palette, and then this one is more of that like jewel tone, more moody fall feeling palette, at least in my mind. So that is good. I'm just blending the two shadows together. I really don't need to try that hard because it's mostly going to get covered up with shimmers anyway. So for the lid, do we use the cool gunmetal shade? Like, do we try something different, or do we go with, I feel like I should try the gunmetal shade. What do you guys think? It's more of a silver. It looks darker in the pan, but I feel like it would be fun to try that instead of going with Blue Fracture, because I feel like Blue Fracture is like the obvious shade, the one you would think I would go for, so I want to like throw a little monkey wrench into my plan. I will say that when I was swatching this palette, the shimmer shades felt really nice, so I'm very curious because they didn't feel too squishy. They felt like the right amount of squishy, and a good amount just picked up on this brush as well. So I'm going to start on the outer corner in case I'm like totally terrified by how dark this is, which I am a little bit. Okay, maybe we'll add a little bit of the blue because I don't want this to be totally a dark eye look, but look, it has a lot of silvery sparkles, so I don't think it would totally make this a gloomy eye look, but I think a little bit of the lighter shade would be nice as well. So let me just clean out my brush and go into Blue Fracture, which is definitely more of a flaky shadow, and you know, this is why everybody loves this color, because it's just so nice. It like makes every eye look just so elevated because of that duochrome shift in it. And I think those shades actually pair really nicely together. So, okay, so I'm wearing this blue eyeliner that I got from Bare Minerals. It's so good. I think that was in the goodie bag of the YouTube event I went to earlier this year. But it looks nice and vibrant and blue. So, happy about that. And now I'm going to go back into Shattered Amethyst, which is the shade I used in the crease, kind of towards the inner corner. And I'm just going to run that on the lower lash line. And then the last palette I think I'm going to feature in this video is going to be the palette from Newport and Bella Beaute Bar, because that's going to be here tomorrow, so hopefully I can film with that. And then we'll have a 3 looks, 3 palettes video going live, which is exciting. And then by the time you're seeing this video, you've probably already seen I posted with the Nomad palette, the new one. So excited about that. The Salem, Massachusetts palette. I actually had time to play with that one as well because it did arrive a little bit earlier to me. And so I created 4 looks with that, which I don't think I've ever done a 4 looks one palette video on my YouTube. So I'm really proud of it. And I would like to do more videos like that. Time is always of the essence, and you have to make like strategic planning decisions when you're a YouTuber. So I always have to keep in mind, like, when is something launching? And even this one, I decided to do multiple palettes, multiple looks, because then I have something up before the launch just in case I am not able to get multiple looks done and then like hold a video and then it turns into like a whole thing. I know I'm over explaining. I just took a little bit of opal dust and stuck it in the inner corner because I felt like I needed a little bit of pop there. And yeah, I think the eye look is pretty much done. I'm just gonna finish up the rest of my makeup and I'll be right back to show you the final look and give you my thoughts on this palette. Okay friends, so here is the finished look. I gotta show you these cute earrings. I found them at Target yesterday. They're little spiders. I have a kid that's obsessed with spiders and I was like, how do I not have spider earrings? I feel like I do. I need to go through my collection and find my spooky earrings because I feel like I have some. But anyway, these are so cute, so I bought them. But let me tell you really quick what is on my face today in case you guys are nosy. So I'm trying to make up my mind about this formula. This is the Merit Uniform Tinted Sunscreen. And I like it, but I just feel like, I don't know, I feel like it makes me look dirty. I don't know why. It's fine, and I feel like it makes my skin look bumpy. I don't know. Maybe it's just me. I'm sure it's not going to translate on camera, but I just don't know how I feel about this. And then I use their stick foundation as my concealer today. It's quite light. I should have picked a darker shade, but I did my best, and I don't think I did a good job. So that is my face for today. So that's my face for today. And then for bronzer, I'm wearing the Rare Beauty liquid bronzer in the shade Serene and the Hoola Caramel bronzer from Benefit. I have on my YSL highlighter. This is the shade 2. And then my lip combo today is something a little different for me. I went in with an unearthly combo. So I used the shade Villain. This is their black lip liner. And I used the shade Lore from their collab with Courtney Quarantine. This is a very like blue tone gray, and I used the black to try and create a little more depth. So I don't know, it's not my favorite, but I thought I'd try it and I felt like it went well with this eye look. But look at this, this is so satisfying. I filmed my July haul, so I finally put all of my unearthly lip liners together and look at all of these colors they have. They have some of the best lip liners, you guys. So underrated. I apparently don't use them a lot, but I do use them. Like every time I feel like I need a lip liner when I'm sitting down here to film. So those are my favorite lip liners, and now they're all together like one big family. So that's all the makeup on my face today. Let me tell you really quick what I think of the Broken Jewels palette from Dede Signature. First of all, let's start off with the packaging. I'm going to give them an A for the packaging. They've really stepped it up. We've got this beautiful mirror. I love this shape. Honestly, this packaging, the inside especially, reminds me a little bit of Singe Beauty. I think they did their own version of it because obviously the packaging on the outside still looks very much like Dede Signature's vibes. And they elevated it. I really like the little holographic shards of jewels that they put everywhere. I think they did a good job with the concept and stuff like that. They put a lot of thought behind the story, which I appreciate. I really like each row kind of symbolizing a different chapter, and I think this is a cool color story. It's a little bit different for them. A lot of depth, some neutrals, some colorful shades, so it's a good balance. And overall, I didn't have any trouble with any of the shades I used on my eye look today, so I will definitely film something else with this, but for now I wanted to include it in this multiple palette video. So yeah, those are kind of my thoughts, and you guys can pick this up on the 28th or the 29th, whichever day you decide to do that. and I will put information down below on it. Now let's get into the last look with the last palette for this video. Okay friends, I'm so excited to be playing with the Bella Beaute Bar and Nupur collab. This literally just got here. Everything worked out so perfectly because my babysitter is here. It's the last day before my kid starts kindergarten, not kindergarten, pre-kindergarten, and the mailman dropped this off at like 10:15, so we're gonna film a eye look with this palette, and I want to show you guys the swatches and tell you a little bit about this. So this palette is launching on August 29th at 11 a.m. Central Time, and you can use my code KHMakeup if you would like to save some money on this palette. I'm so excited to show you guys close-ups and swatches. I know Nupur posted a video detailing everything. I haven't checked it out yet, but I definitely plan on doing that. This palette is going to retail for $69. So there is a note that's going to probably come in with your package, but it says, "I love the idea of combining science and nature with art, which is how I came up with the shade names. All of them are pairs or opposites, such as flora plus fauna and harmony and dissonance. 4 of the shade names are Sanskrit words for the 4 elements. So these names were chosen to reflect her Indian heritage. These 4 elements are also represented on the cover design, which was inspired by the atomic structure." Let's talk about the shades really quickly. I'm going to do my best to give you my description. Now, with this collection, there's also 4 singles, and there are tons of swatches of the singles online, so check it out. Let's start off with the shade Libra. It's a light purple, and we've got Boomy, which is a taupey brown color. Harmony is a beautiful purple that shifts blue-green. Dusk is a cool tone purple matte. Flora is a taupey shimmer shade. It's honestly not a super sparkly shadow, but it's also not like the least sparkly shadow. It's kind of an interesting choice because I feel like I get so used to seeing so many different sparkly shadows in the Bella Beaute Bar palettes, but I think it's a fun, neutrally color that you can use for many different purposes. And then we have Aries, which is a burgundy. Agni, I think is how you say it, is a multi-chrome that shifts from like a brown to a purple to a green. Dawn is a mauve tone, pinky purpley shade. And then we have Sprout, which is a minty green. Balance is that multi-chrome that also shifts from like a blue to a green to a purple. When you see the swatches, you'll know what I'm talking about. Wayun, I hope I'm saying that right, is a cool tone like army green blue. Dissonance is a shifty shade that goes from like green to yellow to orange. And then Jal is a deeper blue that shifts purple. Decay is a darker green shade. Fauna is a satin shimmery shade. It's not as sparkly as some of the other shades, but it's like a taupey brown. It's kind of an interesting choice. I feel like it's almost like where metallic started, and then all the fun shades are like where we're at now kind of vibes. I think for the mattes, the shade Chaos is my favorite color. It's a warm, mucky green, so I'm very excited to try this palette out. I was inspired by one of the looks I saw Nupur wearing, so I think I might try it out. We'll see if I can recreate it. I don't know why. Maybe I'm just secretly challenging myself, but let's see what we can do. I'm going to start off with the shade Chaos, and I've been following the Donna Adelson case. So if you guys are also following the Adelson trials, you better let me know in the comments. I know some of you guys are true crime followers, and I really am not that invested because, I don't know, I still feel like I'm coming down from the Karen Reed case, but it'll be interesting to see how they defend her, because Donna does not think she did anything wrong. So yeah, I mean, she's a character. She is a character. That whole family is just like, wow. The daughter, like, how does she just like go about her life and like her kids? I mean, how effed up is it that your grandma is on trial for red rumming your dad? Holy shit, right? So crazy. Okay, so Boomy is the shade I'm actually throwing in my crease. I am not a cool tone brown girl, so I don't really like put shades like this in my crease on purpose, but it looked stunning on Newport, so I was like, let me try it. And I don't hate it. I don't hate it. I'm definitely going to up the chaos on the outer corner, but we're going to throw Agni in on the lid and then we'll zhuzh up the outer corner. But so far, everything's doing a great job. Okay, so I'm going to take this flat brush. I'm going to pick it up. Ooh! Okay, this is one of those really squishy shimmers, so don't dig too hard because it will get everywhere. It's pretty loose in the pan. Not that I'm going to say that it's going to break or anything. I'm just saying be careful. I have a feeling actually that Nupur used one of her singles for the lid shade in the look that she posted, I think. Because there's a really pretty multi-chrome that's similar to this as a single too. But holy Santa Claus, look at how sparkly that is. You guys, the next few Mondays are going to be wild in my family, I gotta tell you. I was just thinking about it last night. Next Monday is my kid's first day of Montessori. I'm so excited for her. And then the following Monday, September 1st, my mother is turning 70 years old. And bless her soul, she was raised in a world where aging, I don't know, she needs to give herself more props because she is still working, okay? She works out, she drives. I'm so proud of her. She moved to another country at age 68 and is doing her thing. She cooks, she cleans, she's a great grandma. She's turning 70 years old and she's like, don't tell anyone it's my birthday. And I'm like, Mom, get it together. Like, I was literally telling my husband, if I make it to 70 years old, I'm gonna be so excited. I mean, I get like when you age, it's not fun because you're dealing with physical health declines and stuff like that. But my mom is like, she's a whip. I feel like she puts a lot of pressure on herself to be this like mover and shaker all the time. I have to like remind her to slow down and like it's okay to just come to my house and hang out. You don't have to always be cleaning. But yeah, so she's turning 70 years old, and then the next Monday, I don't know if you guys saw, but I announced on Instagram, I've actually been working on getting my US citizenship. Been dragging my feet. I've been eligible forever, and you know, why take a chance with the way the world is these days? So me and my husband applied and I actually got an interview date next week. So yeah, it's going to be a lot of exciting things happening all at once, and it's wild and exciting and bananas at the same time. So I just want to let you guys know what's going on in my life. I know this isn't a life update video, but I feel like I just can't find the time to film one of those. The end of summer has been so wild and crazy. And this is my first time experiencing back to school season. And I feel like as an adult in the US, you hear it and I'm like, it's a freaking marketing gimmick. But no, actually it's a real freaking thing. Because if you're like me, you're getting used to a new schedule, a new routine, getting little kids to adapt and embrace change, you know? It's a lot. So it's been exciting, but it's also been just a crazy time. Okay, I'm going to take the shade Decay, which is the dark green, and I'm going to slightly put some on this pencil brush and like finesse it into the shade Chaos. Freaking love that name, Chaos. Sounds like a Marvel superhero, but also like great. This green is a very pigmented, and she's a little bit overpowering. She's like, listen here, Chaos, go away. So I think I might have to add a little bit of Chaos on top. Wow, this is turning out to be a lot grungier than I thought, but that's all right. And then I'm gonna take the shade Boomy or Bomy. I don't know how to say it exactly, or I'm not sure what it means actually. And I'm just gonna put a little bit on the inner portion. Okay, she's looking cute. I think I want to use something a little bit different on the inner corner. Maybe I'll just use my highlighter shade because there isn't a really light neutrally shade that I can use from the palette. So the look is done. I'm going to spray my face, finish up this makeup, and I'll be right back to show you guys. Newport, if you see this video, I want you to know these are fresh earrings. I just got them and I think they look great with this makeup look with your palette. So yeah, I had to give my earrings a shout out. I got these at TJ Maxx. You guys, the way I haven't been to TJ Maxx in years while the kids were super, super little, and I have just been going to the same old stores over and over, and I was like, why don't I switch it up? And I went to TJ Maxx one day, and now I'm like, oh my gosh, I remember why I love this place. So anyways, don't sleep on the jewelry at your local TJ Maxx. I just want to tell you really quick what is on my face. I did do a lot of repeat products. I'm wearing the Lumi Glow Tint from L'Oreal. I think this is actually a really nice skin tint and I want to wear this more. And I wore my Kulfi concealer because I haven't used that in a while. Also haven't used the Charlotte Tilbury contour one, so I used that. And my Hourglass bronzer, I really need to work on finishing this. Like, look at how skinny this is. This needs to be done with already. And then for blush, I use the Ciele blush. This is the SPF blush in the shade Ruddy. I was so excited for this shade, but I'm here to tell you, after 2 tries, I think I hate this blush. You can't even see it on me right now, and I tried extra hard to build it up. Like, I was like sitting there with a brush, like stabbing my face, trying to get this to show up on my skin tone. And I'm disappointed. I'm pretty sure I'm gonna return this because it was $34 and I haven't been disappointed by a blush in a long time. And then I used my NARS highlighter. This is a great highlighter. And then last but certainly not least, this lip color is from Unearthly and it's Jeanette. I love this color so much. I wanted to wear it with this look. Now let's chat a little bit about this gorgeous palette. I love this color story. I feel like something that I really enjoy about Nupur is just how creative her eye looks are. Her photography is amazing. She does the most detailed swatches. She has beautiful comparisons. She does the most beautiful eye looks. Her and like Glam Smithy are like 2 of my favorite like brown girl indie creators that I just love so much. I wish I could meet them in person. I just look up to them so much. I'm just out here just like fangirling. I love that Nupur collab with one of my favorite indie brands. And listen, one thing I love about Bella Beaute Bar, well, actually there's many things. Let's make a list. I love their color stories. I love their packaging. I love their quality. I love their eyeshadows. I've not been disappointed by them in a long time. They've really got their sauce down and I'm so happy for them. And really, I have nothing bad to say. Okay, I swatched all the shades. I will say I was like, I don't know about this color story. But when I swatched it out and I like looked at it, I was like, oh my gosh, these shades are so beautiful. I think it would be so fun to create a look with Dawn and Sprout and Harmony or Balance. I think that would be like a fun candy look. So I am definitely not done with the Coalescence palette yet. I seriously have so much more inspiration. And like I said at the beginning, this palette is launching on the 29th at 11 a.m. Central Standard. And I do have a discount code CAGEMAKeup. If you want to support, it really helps me out and I really appreciate it. I guess I could try and rank them. Ooh, I don't know. Can I rank them? Okay. So if I really had to narrow it down, I would say the Terra Moon palette is my favorite look. And this is so me. This is such a great green palette. The shadows perform really beautifully. So I really like this one. So this one's number 1. I would give Coalescence number 2 because it does have greens, but it's more of those grungy greens. Whereas the Terra Moon has like those more vibrant greens. So I love that. I love the formula, I love the concept, everything. Broken Jewel is getting the third spot only because of the 3-color stories. This one is my least favorite, but it's also really beautiful and so different for Dede Signature. So I love that, and I just feel like I'm really, really happy with the direction they're going. It's just a little bit more elevated from where they started, and I love seeing brands progress. Like, that's what's important, is that you're making little changes and you're getting places. So yeah, this is so fun. I really had a lot of fun creating this 3 looks, 3 palettes video. Now it's time for you to use your voice and vote for your favorite look. Let me know which look was your favorite. You can just leave a 1 or 2 or 3 in the comment section. And if you don't want to vote on a look, let me know which one of these palettes you're interested in. It really helps me out if you comment. It helps my engagement. And listen, I am a nosy bee, and I actually really love knowing what's catching your eye, what are you skipping. I want to hear your critical thoughts on each of these palettes. If you feel like making a dissertation in the comments, I'm so here for it. I love reading comments. So yeah, I hope you enjoy. Thank you so much for watching. If you haven't checked out my Nomad Cosmetics video yet, I'll link it. You guys can check it out. And I will see you guys in another video very, very soon. Bye, friends!